On, guys? Last time I did a video, we were going into Chicago for that series, but I have been a little bit lazy when it comes to keeping up with this. I'm not going to make any excuses, just been working whatsoever. So let's talk about the Tigers, but first, before we get into anything Tigers team related, I want to talk about one individual, Miguel Cabrera. Today, Miguel Cabrera hit his 40th home run of the season. Last year at this time, he only had 30 or 29 home runs. I think he had just under 100 RBIs. And he was only hitting 327. He's hitting nearly 370. Correction. I should get that right. Miguel Cabrera is hitting almost 360. I was a little bit over on that one. And it's just not even close with the pace that he was on last year. I mean, he's hitting almost 40 points higher than he did last year. He's got over 10 home runs more. He's got almost 20 RBIs more on his current pace last year. Most of the time when you win a Triple Crown, you typically don't exceed those numbers ever again. He's on a pace right now to make his Triple Crown season look ordinary compared to the numbers he's putting up this year. Which made me think, I was reading people's comments today, is Miguel Cabrera the greatest hitter of all time already? Now, I don't think he's the greatest hitter of all time yet, because simply for the fact he's only 30. He's been in the league 11 years. He's still got a lot of time left in his career. So I don't want to say anything now. But if you look at I went on Baseball Reference and looked at previous hitters, good hitters, through the first 11 years, and did the splits. It's staggering how close Cabrera is. So Miguel Cabrera in his career right now, he has 1,960 hits, 1,240 RBIs. He's got a 321, 399, 570 slash, and a 969 OPS. All right, keep that in mind. Ted Williams, through his first full 11 seasons. Now, this is actually more than 11 seasons, these numbers, but I just did first full 11 because he missed 3 seasons in the middle of this. Ted Williams' slash was 347, 484, 634, 1,011 OPS. So he's got Miggy beat by batting average by a good margin. His OBP's got him beat by a good margin. Slugging percentage, he has him beat by a pretty good margin. In OPS, he has him beat by a good margin as well. But if you look at production-wise, Ted Williams only had 1,767 hits. Miguel Cabrera has 410 doubles to Teddy Ballgame's 366 doubles. Cabrera has 360 home runs to Ted Williams' 324 home runs. And Ted Williams had 1,264 RBIs. So he only has 40 more or 24 more RBIs, 11 years through his career. So from production standpoint, Cabrera is on par with Ted Williams through his first 11 full seasons played. From a hitting standpoint, Ted Williams easily was a better hitter through his first 11 years. Just hitter-wise, getting on base, slugging, OPS, and average, he was better than Miggy through his first full 11 seasons when it came to that part. But with production value, Miggy is produced more than Ted Williams did in his first 11 years. Jimmy Fox, through his first 11 years, he hit 339, 440, 640, 1,079 OPS. So, slash line-wise, Jimmy Fox was a little bit better of a hitter, not much. OBP got on base a little bit higher pace. And slugging, he slugged a little bit higher than Miggy. But he had 1,492 hits. Miggy's easily trumped him on that. 257 doubles. Miggy easily trumped him on that. 302 homers. Miggy easily trumps him on that. 1,075 RBIs. Miggy easily trumps him on that. And he had more walks than Jimmy Fox. He's on a better pace than Jimmy Fox through his first 11 years, production-wise, than Jimmy Fox. Lou Gehrig. Lou Gehrig had 344, 444, 634, 643 slash, and 1,087 OPS. Hitting standpoint, got on base at a better clip, slugged at a higher clip, got a little bit higher OPS, and a bit higher batting average. But production-wise, 402 doubles. Miggy and him are nearly neck and neck, but Miggy out-doubled him. Has more homers. Lou Gehrig got 348 homers, and Lou Gehrig had just a little bit more RBIs, 1,447 RBIs. So Miggy is on par with Lou Gehrig from a production standpoint through his first 11 years. Last one, Hank Aaron. Hank had a 320, 376, 567 slash, and 943 OPS. He had 366 home runs, which is a little bit more than Miggy has, but not by much. 6 more. 2,085 hits, so he had just a couple more hits. 1,216 RBIs, so Miggy has him in RBIs. That's Hank Aaron, your all-time RBI leader. Your all-time total bases leader. He had 3,692 total bases through this point in his career. Miggy has 3,478. So Miggy's on pace to have more RBIs, and he's on pace to hit the same amount of homers and have more total bases than Hank Aaron. So when you actually say, is Miguel Cabrera the best hitter of all time? You are not out of your mind. You are not out of the realm of possibility. He is putting up numbers at a pace to his first 11 years. And guys, here's the thing. Those were their completed stats through their first 11 years. We still got a month and a half of baseball left. Cabrera could still boost those numbers. So we don't even know what Miggy's numbers are going to look like through the first 11 years. Through his first 11 years, he could have 2 MVPs, 2 Triple Crowns, and 3 batting titles. That is nuts. That is nuts. When you can sit there and look at his numbers and say he's on pace with guys as Williams, Gehrig, Fox, Aaron, and you're not out of your mind because the numbers actually say so, you are a special hitter. And he is some kind of good. He is scary good. All I know is in 20 years from now, and Miggy's been long gone out of the game, and I have kids, and they're asking me about Miggy Cabrera, I'm going to be damn proud to say I watched that guy on a day-to-day basis for how many years he's on the Tigers. Because it is amazing what this man can do with the bat. And another thing, he don't have speed. So he's getting this all done with legit singles, hits. He don't get infield singles. So everything he does is just pure hitting. They need to invent more words. Put him in the thesaurus to describe how good he is. Like I said, when people were talking about is he the greatest hitter ever, I think it's premature to say that. But is he on pace to some of the greatest hitters ever? You bet your ass. So let's talk about the Tigers real quick because I don't want to make this video too damn long. They went into Chicago, and Chicago ended up taking the series from Detroit. They only salvaged one game, and that was the third game when Ricky P pitched against John Danks. They lost in extras in the second game, and Chris Sale outdueled Doug Fister. He had a really, really good start. He went complete game on us. And then we came home for the big 5-game set against the Royals, which was huge because the Royals have been playing good baseball. You know, they were only, I think, 6 or 7 out of the Tigers. I think they're like 4.5 out of the wild card at this time and point when they're coming in. And the Royals knew this is a big series because you get 5 games with your division leader, someone you really need to make up, and you could potentially sweep a 5-game set, which is extremely hard to do. You are way in it. You know, you have definitely tightened up the division. So game 1. Anibal Sanchez goes up against Jeremy Guthrie. And Guthrie didn't pitch atrociously bad, but he didn't pitch extremely great. And Anibal Sanchez threw a gem. I mean, he was kind of shaky early in the first inning, but man, you saw this guy just go into lockdown mode. You know, his breaking ball was kind of bad in the early going, and his fastball command was but man, you saw this guy just go boom, flick on the light switch, and all of a sudden he's locked down. You'd be hard pressed to find a better number 3, number 4 starter than Anibal Sanchez this year, considering he's got the lowest ERA on the staff. And here's your 3 starter. Your number 3 starter. I mean, him and Scherzer each have ERA sub 3. And Justin Verlander, his ERA is rocking mid-3s along with Doug Fister. And Porcello, I mean, if we didn't have a couple of those bad starts, his ERA would be in the high 3s. So, I mean, it's nuts how good these 5 guys have been. And in Game 2, it was a tough one. Justin Verlander in the day cap of the doubleheader absolutely throws a gem. 1 earned run over 8 innings of great baseball. And Danny Duffy, who was shit, he ended up having a no-hitter through like 5 1/3. He was effectively wild. And they won that one 2-1. And then James Shields, man, you just got to tip your cap to him. Dude's really good. He didn't have his best stuff. I think he did walk 3 or 4. But he did shut down the Tigers' offense. The Tigers' offense only had 5 hits between the day-night doubleheader, and they lost the doubleheader. But what good teams do? They bounce back. They ended up winning yesterday, 6-5. And it was a great. Miggy comes out, walk-off home run. Prince had a couple good swings. He had a home run this game too, which was good to see him have a couple home runs in the series because we haven't saw that in a while since Baltimore. And then today, Max Scherzer goes out, gets his 18th win of the year, and the Tigers actually beat up on Bruce Chen. I was super surprised because Bruce Chen, man, I don't know what it was. He's really good against the Tigers, and he's been really good in general this year. He had sub, I think, 2 ERA coming into the start. I mean, he was pretty beast coming in, but the Tigers hit him up. He didn't even last 6 innings. And it was a great win today. It was over before it started. Scherzer pitched 8 strong innings. And Scherzer has 15 starts this year of 7 innings or more. That's how good he's been. And, I mean, his ERA just keeps dipping. And he's got to be up in definitely one of the leading side candidates for the American League. He's 18-1. I don't care about wins much, but that's still impressive. 185 strikeouts, 0.90 WHIP, 282 ERA. I mean, he has been flat out dominant this year. So we go preview this series. We welcome in Minnesota for 3. Porcello against Mike Pelfrey, who's absolutely terrible. Anibal Sanchez against Kevin Correa. And Justin Verlander goes up against Andrew Albers, who tossed a complete game in his second start of his career ever, which was pretty impressive. So that's all I got for you guys today. Follow me on Twitter. And like I said, when someone asks you, is Miguel Cabrera the greatest hitter of all time, it may seem kind of weird. And I don't think he's the greatest of all time yet. But it's not out of the realm of possibility because he's on pace to be. Remember that.